Do you miss milk in your keto life?
Have you tried things like nut juice, aka almond milk, but it just don't taste the same as regular milk?
Well, today we're gonna show you how to make your own carnivore milk with 0 sugar.
Hey, what's up, family? I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are two
crazy ketos. Welcome back to the channel. So before keto, we drank a lot of milk. I mean, we've been keto for more than 8 years and we haven't been using milk. But prior to keto, we drank glasses of milk. We poured it on our cereal. We used it in recipes. We were always consuming milk. The problem is regular whole milk has 12 total carbohydrates, and that is all sugar.
Now, of course, once we went keto, we needed to eliminate that, but we still wanted to fill the milk void. And so we tried things like nut juice, basically like all the almond milk, and we tried macadamia nut milk, and some of them were really pricey, but never achieved the taste and even the thickness that we really wanted and were missing from regular milk.
Yeah, the bottom line is those milks that you would find like, almond milk and macadamia nut milk, they're basically water.
Right.
You take pressed pulped nuts and soak it in water and they give you nut juice, basically. And the other problem is they're full of oxalates. They're also generally full of lots of chemicals and thickeners and everything else. Well, today, we're gonna show you something that we're super excited about. I've been working on this for a while. We're gonna show you how to make your own whole milk, and this is completely carnivore. So let's get into the ingredients because you guys are going to love this. You're gonna definitely wanna make this immediately, especially if you're eating keto cereals, or maybe you just miss drinking a glass of milk or even chocolate milk. So here's what we're going to need. First thing you're gonna need is some heavy cream. We're going to need some collagen peptides. Then we have a couple of optional things, okay? This is what's gonna really give it the thickness and the taste of milk. We're gonna need some guar gum, and you're only gonna be using a little bit. This is gonna be an emulsifier and a thickener. Then, again, remember what I said, milk has sugar in it, AKA lactose. 12 grams of carbs of it. So we're gonna use a little bit of allulose to get that sweetness that whole milk has. Now you could also use liquid stevia. I don't have any, we're gonna use allulose, but in the recipe card that is linked down below, we'll give you the ratios if you wanna use liquid stevia. The next thing you're gonna need is a little bit of vanilla. Again, this is kind of an optional, but it's gonna really help blend the flavors and give you that true flavor of milk. And then the last thing we're gonna need is some warm water. Are you ready to get into this?
So ready.
Now I am gonna say this is a super easy recipe to make.
How easy is it?
It is so easy, even Rachel could make it.
Yay!
Okay, I am gonna say you need a blender. You're gonna need a blender because you need to emulsify it. If you don't use a blender, it's not gonna get the thickness that you're looking for. So in a blender, what we're gonna do is we're gonna add 4.5 cups of warm water.
How warm is it?
Your water should be approximately 110 to 120 degrees. So not boiling, just warm. You should be able to stick your hand in there. It is very important to use warm water.
Okay.
If you don't use warm water, when we add in our heavy whipping cream, what's gonna happen is the cream is going to separate and you're gonna get giant chunks of fat. No. We don't want that. So it has to be warm water. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add into that, we're gonna turn on our blender, we're gonna put it on low. We're gonna add into that 1.5 tablespoons of allulose. Now again, the allulose is completely optional, but if you wanna get that same sweetness and flavor of milk, you wanna add in 1.5 tablespoons of allulose. If you don't wanna use allulose, you can use 10 to 15 drops of liquid stevia, or you can also use stevia glycerite, which is gonna be a little bit thicker. It's a milder flavor, so we use a little bit more. Again, everything will be down below in the recipe card. Then we're gonna add to that 5 tablespoons of collagen peptides. Now the purpose of the collagen peptides is to bring in protein.
I love it.
Okay, so now we're gonna have protein in there, and now we're gonna get into our fat. Before we do that, what we wanna do, and this is gonna be the part you have to be very careful of, we're gonna add in 1/8 of a teaspoon of guar gum.
Okay.
Now you can use xanthan gum. Xanthan gum though is better for hot liquids, not cold liquids. Since this is a cold liquid, we're gonna use guar gum. This is optional, but it will thicken up your milk to give it that same thickness you have in milk. So what you wanna do is with your blender running on like a medium, we're gonna take our guar gum and we're gonna sprinkle it across the top. Just a little bit at a time, and we're gonna let this run for a minute. And the purpose of that is so that the guar gum can completely thicken up. Guar gum likes to absorb water.
Right.
So if we don't run this in a blender, what's gonna happen is you're gonna get a lot of grit. So you're gonna add in just that little bit. We're gonna let this run for a second, and it's also gonna help to emulsify. Okay, now that we've had that running, we can add in our vanilla extract. Again, this is optional. You don't have to add in vanilla extract. For the vanilla extract, we're adding in 1/4 of a teaspoon. It's just a little bit to give it that hint of vanilla that you would have in milk. Now we're gonna take heavy whipping cream. Okay, now very important. This recipe is designed for heavy whipping cream, not heavy cream.
Good distinction.
Heavy cream has a higher fat percentage. Now you can use it, but it won't give you the same exact macros that you would have in a glass of milk. Our goal is to make this the same exact macros as a glass of milk.
Without the carbohydrates.
Without the carbohydrates. So we've got 1/2 cup of heavy whipping cream. And what we're gonna do is with our blender running on like a low to medium, just like this, what we're gonna do is we're going to, just like you were adding oil to for mayonnaise, we're gonna slowly add in our heavy cream. While you're doing that, you can turn up your blender just a little bit.
He's going from 3 to 4 on our Vitamix.
And we're gonna let this just blend for a minute. Okay, I'm gonna turn this off for a minute because I'm gonna show you one thing that I like to do. Heavy cream is very thick, it likes to coat the side of your glass. So what I tend to like to do is take some of this, pour it back into my glass to kind of rinse out that heavy cream.
Swish it around.
And then I'm gonna turn this back on and I'm gonna pour it in to get whatever residual heavy cream was in there. Okay, we're gonna let this blend for just like 30 to 45 seconds on a low to medium. So on our Vitamix, we're gonna go up to about a 4. And that's it, your milk is done.
Done.
So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this, we're gonna push this off to the side, and we're gonna grab a pitcher. You can also put this in a mason jar, except for we have 5 cups here, and a mason jar is only gonna hold 4 cups. So we're gonna put this in this pitcher that I purchased at Walmart, and it's perfect as a milk pitcher.
It's just weird that we have a milk pitcher suddenly.
And then we're gonna put a top on this, and we're gonna go stick this in the refrigerator, and you wanna let it chill. A couple hours is good, but as it sits in the refrigerator and cools, because remember we used warm water, it's going to thicken up more. Overnight is gonna give you the best results. Through the magic of television, AKA I already have a pitcher prepared, we have our milk. And look at that.
It looks like a liquid beverage.
Okay, so here's one for me, one for you.
Thank you very much.
I don't know why I'm pouring so much, but that's okay.
It's okay. Cheers. It's delicious. It's like
milk.
It's a glass of milk. And I know that maybe it's odd that we're super excited over like, oh my gosh, like a glass of milk, but we've been keto, like you said, for more than 8 years. We have not had a glass of milk where we could just drink in milk in a long time. The closest we've come is when you used to buy like Rebel brand.
And before anybody gets into, we're not supposed to be drinking milk, I get it. But when you're raised off of milk, sometimes you enjoy it, especially if you want to have a keto cereal. Like every once in a while, you want to have like a little cup. But what's more important is if you're trying to get your kids and your grandkids off of milk. Because listen, by the time they're 3, 4 years old, they don't need milk anymore. Okay?
Right.
Milk makes them fat. That's the bottom line. And it's even worse if you're raised the way I was raised, which is you drink skim milk. Because skim milk has got even
lactose.
more sugar. So this is a great way to get your kids and your grandkids, have them eating like a bowl of Magic Spoon cereal, so there's no sugar in it, and then pouring this over it. It's just the perfect thing. And like you said, I used to get Rebel milk. I liked it, but number one, it was expensive.
Very.
Number two, it had a bunch of ingredients in it. And number three, it's not available anymore. Now, here's the thing. Put this to the side. Grab that glass over there. You know what I really liked from Rebel milk?
Chocolate milk.
I liked their chocolate milk.
I did too.
And when we first moved here to Arcadia, they didn't have it.
Right.
Our Publix had the regular one. Now they don't have either one. But they didn't have the chocolate milk. So here's what we're going to do. We've got some salty Coco Loco. Now, I would mix this into 8 to 16 ounces, but I don't have a 16-ounce glass. So we're going to take about half of this, and we're going to put it into this glass of milk. Then, look at this. I'm going to go ahead and stir it up.
Now, would you be able to mix this milk with a keto chow and use it as a liquid?
You could, but again, I have a varying opinion of keto chow, and that is that keto chow is a meal replacement shake. And, as I spilled it. And keto chow should have a minimum, when you're consuming it, should have a minimum of 300 to 400 calories of fat added in, which is now making it a 400 to 500 calorie meal. Anything less than that is not a meal. And so no, yes, you could use it. However, I wouldn't use it.
The next question I think people are just gonna have is, could I use this milk that I'm making to make your yogurt?
No, it will not work with yogurt because the yogurt cultures, AKA bacteria, can't use allulose because allulose is a rare sugar and it doesn't ferment, and therefore the bacteria can't use it, which is why you can safely deduct allulose off of your total carbs because your body is not actually using that allulose as fuel. Your body doesn't digest it. Now, the reason I always tell people to count it anyway, even though your body won't use it as a fuel source, is because it's very easy to overdo. When you make something sweet, for example, even a giant glass of chocolate milk, it becomes more hyper palatable and then you're over consuming it. So here you go. I'm gonna let you try that first. I didn't mix it really well, but you get the idea.
Wow. That is delicious. And it's got the thickness to it that you're really looking for when you're making chocolate milk. Now,
I could drink that all day long.
all day long. And
I'm getting electrolytes.
I have made it just with water. We enjoy that. But I'm gonna tell you, it is next level. Next level. It really is a chocolate milk replacement for your kids, your grandkids. It's a seamless transition without them knowing it.
Yeah. Now, honestly, if you're gonna make chocolate milk, what I would do is I would mix 1 packet of Coco Loco Salty to 32 ounces of water.
Okay.
Okay, maybe if you want to make it more chocolatey, add in a little bit more cocoa powder. But in doing that, you're going to get the sweetness, the chocolate flavor, you're going to get the electrolytes, but it'll help cut down the saltiness. I think this is perfect because when it first hits your tongue, you get a little bite of salt. It's like eating salted chocolate.
Right.
To me, it's perfect. Real quick, I want to just talk to you. How is this the same as milk? You ready?
Great question.
Got my macros. I don't like to do macros on recipe videos, but I'm gonna give you the macros for this. So you just made 5 cups of milk. That's what it comes out to be.
Which I could use in a recipe too.
Absolutely, you can use this in any recipe that calls for milk.
Okay.
Okay, except for yogurt, because you need the sugar but any recipe that calls for milk, you could use this as a replacement.
Like a soup?
Including ice cream.
Oh my goodness, okay.
So if you have a recipe that calls for half milk, half ice cream, you could just use this in place of whole milk.
I love it.
Okay, ready? 1 8-ounce glass, 145 calories, 8 grams of fat, 8 grams of protein,
Nice.
And if you count the allulose carbs, 5 total carbs per glass.
As opposed to 12?
Yes. So if you don't count the allulose, if you're going to deduct the allulose, 1.4 net carbs per glass. Because don't forget, there are carbs in milk, in heavy cream. And we used heavy whipping cream, so there's 0.413 carbs. And so that helps with the carbs. That's why there's still 1.4 carbs in here. How does that compare to whole milk? If you go to the store and buy a glass of whole milk, you're looking at roughly 150 calories, 8 grams of protein, 8 grams of fat, and 12 total carbs, which is all sugar.
Now, you're talking about Red Label?
Red Label whole milk.
Wow.
So
this is exciting.
There you go. You now have a keto-friendly milk. You don't have to go to the store and buy expensive nut milks.
Ugh.
You don't have to subject yourself to any kind of, chemicals, any kind of oxalates that you find in almond milk. And pretty much all of us have heavy cream in our house. Now again, you don't even have to add the collagen peptides if you don't want to. I'm going to tell you to do it for 2 reasons. Number 1, it's going to thicken it up and give it the consistency of milk. Number 2, it's going to give you that protein. Without it, you're basically drinking watered down heavy whipping cream.
Right.
So you're drinking something with 8 grams of fat, but 0 grams of protein, and protein is king. Let us know down in the comment section, are you excited about this? Have you been missing milk? Let us know down below in the comment section. Like I said, down below in the description box will be a link to this recipe, which will be up on our website. One more thing I did want to mention. How long will this store? Roughly the same amount of time as your heavy cream, whatever
Nice.
your expiration date is, but safely, so long as you are not using heavy cream that's expiring tomorrow, you're looking at about 7 days if you store it in a container in your refrigerator. Now, if you like seeing videos like this, take a look at the video we have linked right over there. Also, make sure you take a look at the most recent video that I'm gonna put right over here.
But whether you head this way or you head this way, don't forget to head this way. Subscribe to our channel and click the little bell icon in that way. Every single time we're drinking milk, you'll be alerted to it.
Till next time,
Bye.